Tyler Merriam here for the introduction of our starting lineups and get you ready for game one of the state tournament.
National pastime, but the 250th anniversary of our nation's independence. Our first of four opening round games today will feature the visitors, the Harrisburg Post 45 Gold Tigers. And the home team, Sioux Falls Post 15 West. At this time, let's meet first the reserves and then the starters for each squad. We begin with the visitors, Harrisburg. Reserves, number 1, Evan Edwards. Number 7, Landon Bachtel. Number 12, Grady Wolbrink. And number 18, Owen Sexer. The batting order for Harrisburg, leading off and playing center field, number 5, Andrew Dirks. Batting second, the right fielder, number 17, Jackson Raisler. Batting third, the left fielder, number 15, Bryson Esser. The cleanup batter, third baseman, number 2, Nick Riley. Batting fifth, second baseman, number 13, Rylan Cody. Hitting sixth, the shortstop, number 11, Wyatt Witwicky. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 3, Dalton Winling. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 8, Madden Winling. Batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 10, Noah Rutten. The starting pitcher, number 4, Griffin Schlopkohl. Assistant coach, Dan Buton, and the head coach of Harrisburg, Zeb Weedy. Now let's meet the home team, Sioux Falls Post 15 West. Reserves, number 2, Kyler Boyd. Number 9, Noah McFarland. Number 12, Connor McGinnis. Number 15, Noah Grabo. Number 17, Carl Hartman. Number 23, Chris Logue. And number 24, Everett Salonen. The batting order for Sioux Falls West. Leading off and playing center field, number 14, Lawson Hensley. Batting second, shortstop, number 4, Brody Jacobson. Batting third, designated hitter, number 20, Boston Bryant. The cleanup batter, right fielder, number 0, Tucker DeHaan. Batting fifth, third baseman, number 3, Bennett Duncan. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 10, Jackson Dunn. Batting seventh, first baseman, number 7, Beckett Whitlock. Batting eighth, left fielder, number 5, Jack Hilly. Batting ninth, second baseman, number 1, Montnell Jensen. The starting pitcher, number 8, Caden Voss. Assistant coaches, Dexter Payne and Braden Byram, and the head coach of Sioux Falls West, Zach Evers. And the bat boy for Sioux Falls West is Tristan Bryant. Our umpires for today's game, behind the plate is Chris Jackson. At first base, Don Johnson, and at third base, Greg Warren. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you all please rise and remove your hats for the reading of the American Legion Code of Sportsmanship, to be followed by the singing of our national anthem. To recite the code, a member of the South Dakota State American Legion Athletic Commission, the chairman, Mr. Lyle Tolsma.
Welcome, fellas. Started the game today, beautiful weather. Let's remember sportsmanship is our priority, and help each other out. Repeat after me. I will keep the rules, keep faith with my teammates, keep my temper, keep myself fit, keep a stout heart in defeat, keep my pride under in victory, keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body. Good luck, gentlemen.
We ask that you please remain standing and honor the flag for the singing of our national anthem, to be performed by Blake Benson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We are ready for baseball here this morning from Rapid City of the Fitz here on Hardhats TV. John Winkler with you on this Tuesday morning. Wyatt Simmons joining me as well, and should be a fun state tournament. All 8 of these teams, I think, have every opportunity to go win a state championship. We're going to see how much depth these teams have to get to a state championship. But a first-game win, all 8 teams feel like they have the stuff and they have the pitching to get a first-game win and to put themselves into that double elimination game tomorrow afternoon and evening. But Sioux Falls West, the number 2 seed, taking on the number 8 seed Harrisburg in this first game. Harrisburg won their matchup against Renner in 3 games because Watertown upset Pierre. They got to move up a spot, so now being the number 7 seed basically in this matchup against Sioux Falls West in this first game. As we look at your starting lineups, you just heard them, but here's your starting lineups for both of these teams. Andrew Dirks will lead us off, the center fielder. Jackson Raisler, the right fielder, batting second. Bryson Esser, the left fielder, will bat third. It'll be Nick Riley, the third baseman, to bat fourth. Rylan Cody batting fifth. He's a second baseman. Wyatt Widwicki, the shortstop, will bat third, make that sixth. Dalton Wendling, the catcher, batting seventh. Madden Wendling, the first baseman, batting eighth. And Noah Rutten, the DH, will bat ninth for this Harrisburg Post 45 team. For Sioux Falls West, the home team, Lawson Hensley, the center fielder, leading off. Brody Jacobson, the shortstop, batting second. Boston Bryant, the DH, will bat third. Tucker DeHaan will be batting fourth. He's the right fielder. Bennett Duncan, the third baseman, batting fifth. Jackson Dunn, the catcher, will bat sixth. Becca Whitlock, the first baseman, batting seventh. Jack Hilly, the left fielder, batting eighth. And Matt Noel Jensen, the number 9 man, the second baseman, will be the number 9 man in the batting order for Sioux Falls West, Post 15. We're ready to go for the state tournament as Andrew Dirks will step to the plate to get us started. It is Caden Voss on the mound for Sioux Falls West. And we are ready for a state tournament play here at the Fitz. 5 straight days of baseball for you coming from Hardhats TV. First pitch will miss low for ball 1 to get us underway with first pitch right at 10:01 here this morning. Winner will advance to tomorrow night. The team that falls will go to the elimination game tomorrow morning as that pitch is over for a strike, and the count's now 1-1 here to Andrew Dirks, the center fielder. Caden Voss, the starting pitcher on the mound. This is his 9th start of the season, 10th overall appearance, as he has got a 6-2 record with a save, 30 hits allowed for Voss, as well as also then giving you the runs allowed at 16 runs, only 14 of them earned, a 2.23 ERA, and then a whip at 1.11. Batting average against at 180. So he is a tough guy to get hits against, as Andrew Dirks, 2-2 count to him, the leadoff man here at the top of the first. Right-hander delivers and misses low. So Dirks will work a full count, 286 average for him coming into this state tournament. 12 runs driven in for Dirks. They are one of 2 teams that had to play 3 games to get here. On the flip side, Post 22 didn't have to play at all to get here. That one's fouled out of play. Hits the post and comes back into fair territory. So the count remains at 3-2. Here the leadoff man and Andrew Dirks. Harrisburg beat Renner game 1, lost in game 2, then came back and won game 3. Brookings, the other team that had to go to all 3 games to get to this state tournament. Obviously, Post 22 did not have to play any games because they're the host team. Pierre will be that way next year, as they're going to be the host team in 2027. Payoff pitch again. That'll be ball 4 and a leadoff walk to Andrew Dirks to get us started here in the state tournaments. As you look at the Harrisburg defense around the horn, we don't want the Harrisburg defense right now. We want the Sioux Falls West defense around the horn. It is Hilly out in left, Hensley in center, DeHaan in right, Duncan at third, Jacobson at short, Jensen at second, Whitlock at first, Dunn behind the plate. And Caden Voss here on the mound for Sioux Falls West. Jackson Raisler will bunt that up in the air, back sliding and making a great catch for the first out is Jackson Dunn. As you check out the replay, and a fantastic first out recorded. The slide here at the end by Voss, make that by Dunn.
Number 15, left fielder,
and it makes it the first down here in the top of the first inning. And so 1 down, and it brings up Bryson Esser. Trying to play a little bit of small ball for Harrisburg. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Probably a little bit more unusual for Harrisburg to play small ball, at least over the last several years. You didn't hear that very often. They're hitting .267 as a team. They've got 16 home runs, 59 doubles, 10 triples. They're a team that can hit the ball all over the yard, as that one is fouled away. And the count goes to now 1-1. And they have 275 hits and only 190 singles. That's slugging percentage at .390 with the average at .267. Bryson Esser, he's hit 3 home runs so far. He's got 20 runs driven in. As the count goes to now 2-1. Make that 1-2, excuse me. Voss will come set from the stretch. That'll miss out and high, and the count's now 2-2. Four games today, 4 games tomorrow, and then we have the first 2 elimination games, which would be tomorrow. Then we'll drop down to 3 games on Thursday, 2 on Friday, and then only 1 guaranteed game on Saturday. We could still see 2 games being guaranteed, depending on how Friday goes, and that will be more of a conversation for Friday. on if we have the 2 guaranteed games or not. Count runs full now to Bryson Esser, the left fielder. 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the first. The opening game of the state tournament. Second time it counts run full. There's a swing and a miss, a strikeout. And 2 down now here in the top of the first. First strikeout for Voss. Overall for Voss, he is coming in, striking out 46 in 44 innings. So a strikeout per inning, and he's got that first strikeout. Umpires, you heard beforehand from Tyler Merriam, Chris Jackson called balls and strikes here in this first game. Don Johnson at first and Greg Warren over at third. Right now he's standing at second. He's in your camera frame right now from the center field side. A little miss upstairs for ball 1. Brookings and Brandon Valley will play next. And then we'll go to Yankton, post 320. And then post 22 finishes out the night against Watertown, post 17, as it counts 1 and 1. Host team gets to play that last game of the day, regardless of what their seed is, but post 22 is the number 1 seed. There's a fly ball towards right center field, moving over the right fielder, backing up, and the catch will be made by DeHaan to get out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on base. We head to the bottom of the first. A nice play out there and right by DeHaan. We head to the bottom of the first. No score between Harrisburg and Sioux Falls West here in the first game of the state tournament. It is the bottom of the first, and no score between Harrisburg and Sioux Falls West. As Sioux Falls West here at the plate in this first inning, Lawson Hensley to lead us off here in this bottom of the first inning. As Sioux Falls West, they come in, they're hitting a .332 on the season. They swept Huron to get to the state tournament, as the first pitch will miss low for ball 1. Griffin Schlapkohl on the mound. He is making his 6th start. 8th appearance overall, 36 innings pitched on the year, 2-1 record. As this one is out to right field, that's down for a base hit. Our first hit today goes to Lawson Hensley, the center fielder, and the 2 seed gets a runner on first here to open up this first inning. And this will bring up now Brody Jacobson, the shortstop. Going to finish out Schlapkohl's pitching. 31 hits, 34 runs, and 19 of those have been earned. 25 walks, 33 strikeouts, a 3.69 ERA, whip at 1.56. As he'll throw strike 1 to Brody Jacobson. Batting average against at .220 for Schlapkohl. As a team, Harrisburg, a .281 batting average against. Brody Jacobson, he is hitting .370. Runner takes off for second. The throw to second will be wide of the bag. It was taken for a strike, so the count's 0-2, but a stolen base now for Lawson Hensley. And he is on at second with an 0-2 count here to Brody Jacobson. Already a runner in scoring position here for Sioux Falls West in the bottom of the first. The 0-2. Sioux Falls West had a big turnaround from last year to this year. Did not make the state tournament. It was a struggle throughout the season, and then a lot of these guys from Jefferson and the Sioux Falls schools that went deep into a state tournament, as it counts 2-2, and now seniors and playing some of their last years together, playing for the Sioux Falls West team, and a big turnaround in the program for Zach Evers and Sioux Falls West to get to the number 2 seed. They are a very tough team. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop. They will field the throw from Witwicky, will be in time. The runner does take third. There was a little bit of a chance for potentially Witwicky to go to third, but he chose the sure out at first. So Hensley ends up at third on the 6-3 ground out, and there's one down. And the runner 90 feet away here from Sioux Falls West, taking an early 1-0 lead. And Boston Bryant, the DH, to the plate. .407 average, 37 runs driven in. That is tops of the team coming into the state tournament. He's got a home run, 4 triples, 5 doubles. As the first pitch is over for strike 1 to Boston Bryant. You kind of think with the way that everything's lined up, everybody's going to use probably their 1A pitcher, as that one's fouled back to the left side near where Tucker DeHaan is standing on the on-deck area. The count goes to 0-2. But you kind of feel like everybody's using their 1A pitcher in this first game, as that would be fouled away. Second time that post has been hit already. Counts 0-2. That's incredible that post's been hit twice in the matter of one full inning. But runs are probably going to be at a premium, so every run to pick up can be huge early on in the game. Here's a ground ball. That's actually going to be a line shot that is caught. The throw back. It is going to be in time for a double play. The shoestring catch from the first baseman, Madden Windling, fired a strike to third, and they double off Hensley for the third out. What a catch over there at first. As you watch the replay, slow it down, and the catch right at the shoe top. And then a fire across to third and got the double play to get out of the inning. And make that a 3-5 double play. And there is no score at the end of one between Sioux Falls West and Harrisburg. Back after this here on Hardhats TV. It is the top of the second. No score between Harrisburg and Sioux Falls West on an incredible double play. Turned by the first baseman, Whitlock. Make that Madden Windling to Nick Riley to get Hensley out at third. As this is 4, 5, and 6. Ryland, Cody White, Witwicky, and then Dalton Wendling, the catcher. Didn't even go around the horn defensively for Harrisburg. We'll do that in the bottom of the second. Here's the 1-0. This is popped up, and that'll be fouled out of play.
Reminder to return all foul balls to the ticket booth for an award thanks to Veterans Plumbing.
And you got to think, too, it mentioned it just a little bit right before that double play. Runs are going to be at a premium, and to fail to cash in that first inning, it's one to circle back for Harrisburg if they win this game. And Sioux Falls West, you can't get too down on yourself for not being able to score that run. But, boy, that run over there at third with only one out and can't get it with the double play. As there's the second strikeout for Caden Voss as Ryland Cody goes down swinging. And one down here in the top of the second for White Witwicky, the shortstop. Just one hit so far from both these teams. White Witwicky, the shortstop. Witwicky is coming in. He's hitting .237. And he'll swing and miss for strike one. 7 doubles and a triple with 17 runs driven in for Witwicky. The 0-1 does not swing, and it is high and outside, and it's even at 1-1. That one catches the zone at the bottom, and it's now 1-2 here to Witwicky. And Voss will look for his third strikeout of the ball game. Right-hander from the windup, the 1-2. Foul that back and stay alive at 1-2. One, two again. That'll miss low, and the count goes to now 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Witwicky went 2 for 7 with 2 doubles in that 3-game series against Runner. The 2-2. That'll miss low, and this is the third full count now from Caden Voss. And full counts are big for right now Harrisburg, but just it adds on to those pitches and 105 for the limit. Here's a 3-2. Swing and a miss, and the tag was not applied, so they'll throw to first. And back-to-back strikeouts, 2-3 on the putout, and 2 down. Here in the top of the second for now, Dalton Wendling, the catcher. So now for Wendling, as he comes in hitting .255. He's got 4 doubles, a triple, and 15 runs driven in on the season. 2 outs and nobody on. That first pitch will be over for strike one. Harrisburg hit .266 in those 3 games against Renner. They won 12-3, and then it was a 10-1 loss before they won 7-0. They used 5 pitchers overall to get that best-of-3 series win. Schlapkohl started that game against Renner, that 8-9 matchup, and there was a lot of close games and a lot of teams that had an opportunity, the lower seeds, to advance. The count's now 1-2. Voss is looking to strike out the side in order. A 1-2 now from Voss. Just missing low. That's a good spot to miss. A 2-strike count. Able to nibble the corner and just miss, and also trying to get Wendling to swing at a pitch maybe outside the zone. This is popped up to the first baseman. Whitlock is right there at the line. He'll make the catch for the third out, and a 1-2-3 top of the second for Caden Voss. No score between Sioux Falls West and Harrisburg as we head to the bottom of the second here at the Fitz Dave Plouffe Field here on Hardhats TV. As we head to the bottom of the second here real quick, let's look at the Harrisburg defense as we go around the horn, as it is Bryson Esser in left, Andrew Dirks in center, Jackson Raisler in right, Nick Riley at third, White Wicki at short, Rylan Cody at second, Madden Windling at first, and Dalton Windling behind the plate, and Griffin Schlappkohl is on the mound. As we are here in the bottom of the second, first pitch to DeHaan is outside for ball one. Tucker DeHaan here for Sioux Falls West, followed by Bennett Duncan and Jackson Dunn. This is 4, 5, and 6. That one's fouled out of the Fitz. Mentioned that Sioux Falls West hitting .332 as a team. They beat Huron 10-0 in that first game and then picked up a 6-1 win. Caden Voss didn't throw that first game win against Huron with a one-hit shutout in 5 innings with 4 strikeouts and a walk. They hit .426 against Huron, as this one is going to be a base hit to the right side. And a leadoff single again here for Sioux Falls West. Second straight inning, they're opening up with a base hit. And it brings up Bennett Duncan, the third baseman. West end up with just 2 extra base hits against Huron, and Boston Bryant and Beckett Whitlock had both of those doubles. They were able to score 16 runs overall, and that's those 2 wins against Huron to advance to the state tournament. First pitch swinging, and that one's down the right field line. That will land just foul down the line, as it goes out of eye shot on camera and goes out of eye shot for us here on the right side here in the press box too. As it counts 0-1 here to Bennett Duncan. Duncan, .376 average, 966 OPS with 7 doubles and a triple. He's driven in 30 runs this year. They have 4 different guys that have had 30-plus RBIs, led by Boston Bryant's 37. Runner takes off, pitches high, the throw to second, the tag applied, he's safe at second. Sliding in safely was DeHaan. And the second stolen base now for Sioux Falls West in this ball game. 1-1 count. That runner on at second, Bennett Duncan with nobody out trying to drive in the game's first run. That'll miss high and inside. Yeah, we have a balk call now too, and that will move the runner over to third. Looked like Schlappkohl may have balked, and we'll show the replay. You can see the small hesitation right there, and then he stopped. And so they called the balk on him. Here's the next pitch, over for a strike to make it now a 2-2 count. So the runner on at third. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second, the 2-2. Taken for strike 3, and Bennett Duncan will go down looking for the first out. First strikeout of the ball game now for Griffin Schlappkohl. And it brings up Jackson Dunn, the catcher. First pitch over for strike 1. He had .307. He's got 20 runs driven in. 7 extra base hits overall, 6 doubles. Ground ball on the right side. Make that the left side. Diving stop by the shortstop in Whit Wicki, but no play, and the run will come in to score. It was going to score regardless. It is an infield single. And Jackson Dunn gives Sioux Falls West a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. And now we'll have a courtesy runner for Dunn, the catcher. As it will be Noah Graybeau. So Graybeau running over at first. And now Beckett Whitlock, the first baseman. Back to 2 singles here in the inning. 3 hits overall now for Sioux Falls West, and they have a 1-0 lead. That first pitch will miss outside for ball 1. Able to cash in on the balk called to move DeHaan over to third. Runner takes off. That one's off the glove of the catcher. It was taken for a strike, but there is no throw. And so the count goes to 1-1, but that's now the third stolen base. Everybody that's reached base here for Sioux Falls West has stolen second. The game plan for West is to run the base as well. And so far they've made sure that everybody has been able to hit with a runner in scoring positions. It counts 2-1 to Beckett Whitlock. Two one. That one is chopped foul. And so the count goes now 2-2 here to Whitlock. Schlapko looking for his second strikeout. That runner on at second and 1 away. Two-two, swung on and missed. They will throw to first, and the runner will take off for third, and he will end up at third. It looked like the umpire, I don't believe he actually had said that he had caught it cleanly. So they did have to throw to first to get Whitlock out. And so the throw went to first, and then Jackson Dunn, or excuse me, Graybeau, who's running for Dunn, ends up at third. And that is a big insurance run. And Dalton Wendling behind the plate is going to be a wall. And that ball will get away, and that's exactly what I just mentioned. The wild pitch will score the second run, and it's a 2-0 lead for Sioux Falls West. How big that steal was, and then having to throw to first to get that runner over to third. Wild pitch scores Graybeau, and now it's a 2-0 lead for West here in the bottom of the second. That one will find the zone, and the count's 1-1. Jack Hilly, the left fielder, at the plate with now nobody on and 2 away in the bottom of the second. Hilly's hitting .293. He'll swing and miss to that one, and the count's now 1-2. Hilly went 1 for 5 with an RBI against Huron in those 2 games. Schlapko can still strike out the side, but it is a 2-0 lead. 2 runs have scored. This one will be flown out to left field, right to the left fielder in Esser, who barely had to move at all to make the catch, and that will retire the side. 2 runs will score, though, in the inning. On 2 hits, there were no errors and no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. It is, to make that the top of the third, it is a 2-0 lead for Sioux Falls West over Harrisburg here in the first game of the 2026 American Legion State Tournament here at the Fitz on Hardhats TV.
On Hardhats TV on YouTube as well.
As we welcome you back, it is the top of the third and a 2-0 lead for Sioux Falls West over Harrisburg. 8-9-1 here, 4 post 45. Madden Wendling, Noah Rudden, and then Andrew Dirks. So the first baseman will dig in to lead us off here in this top of the third inning as the first pitch will be popped foul out of play on the left side for strike one. Harrisburg, they come in at the only team under 500 overall in the season, but they weren't under 500 during the South Dakota season. They went 10-8 as the number 8 seed. And they went 16-24 during the regular season, so they lost a lot of out-of-state games, but they were good inside the state of South Dakota as it counts 1-1. However, Sioux Falls West and Harrisburg have played 3 times, June 1st, June 17th, and July 8th, and Sioux Falls West won all 3 of them, 6-1, 17-6, and then 5-0. So they're trying to beat Harrisburg for a 4th time this year. Did not ever play a doubleheader against these two teams. Never played a doubleheader, as that one will bounce in and the count's 2-1. But everybody in this first round has played against each other, whether it is just 1 game or 2 games. And Brookings and Brandon Valley, the only teams that split their 2 games. Everybody else, whether it was obviously Yankton Post 320, played just 1 time. But the higher seed has won every game except for Brandon Valley and Brookings, when they will meet in our second game at 1 o'clock this afternoon. That'll be a fun rubber match and to happen in the state tournament. 2-2 pitch here to Madden Wendling, fouled back again. And so the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch count is important throughout this entire state tournament, because if you go over 80 pitches, you're done for the rest of the state tournament. Saturday's your 4th day of rest, so if you go over 80, you might as well go to the 105 distance if it allows you to. Voss has just thrown his 39th pitch here in the top of the third. Schlapkohl threw 31 through the first 2 innings. Another full count pitch. Wendling will draw the walk. Good battle there for Wendling. He'll be a leadoff man on base. Second time a leadoff walk for Harrisburg in the first 3 innings. And it brings up Noah Rutton, the DH. Third walk issued. Make that the second walk issue. 3 strikeouts for Caden Voss. Harrisburg still looking for their first hits of this ball game. The number 9 man, Noah Rudden, here at the plate. First pitch is a ground ball over to third. Duncan will throw to second for 1. No throw from Jensen. He stayed on the bag to make sure that first out was recorded. It will go to a fielder's choice for the first out. 5-4 on the fielder's choice. And a runner stays at first with 1 away. And back to the top of the order now for Andrew Dirks. Just about to mention that Voss was looking for a ground ball. He's had only 1 ground ball so far. That was just that one with Rutton. Everything else has been popped up. That one's over for strike 1. That's more of what Harrisburg wants to do anyway. They don't like to hit balls on the ground. They want to hit doubles in the gaps and hit the ball in the air. And they've been that team that's had the launch angle for the last several years, and they've had some really big sticks that have come through the Harrisburg Post 45 team over the last, now probably close to 10 years. Just in, just the last decade, there's been a lot of guys that have been swinging the bats. We have time called. And, they got to get a bucket of baseballs over in the third base dugout and bring it in. Counts 0-2 here to Andrew Dirks, the leadoff man, the batting order. Voss looking for his 4th strikeout. Runner takes off, taken for strike 3. The throw to second. Strike him out, throw him out. And it takes care of the inning. A strong throw from the catcher and Jackson Dunn. We won't be able to see, but you'll see that strike right there at the knees.
No runs, no hits, no Sioux Falls West
And then you can see the throw coming out to second and the tag applied. And a strike him out, throw him out. And Dunn knew it. He was walking off to the third base dugout before the tag had even been applied. So it is still a 2-0 lead for Sioux Falls West as we head to the bottom of the third here in the state tournament. First game of the state tournament here at the Fitz on Hardhats TV. So it is the bottom of the third. Sioux Falls West, after the strike him out, throw him out, will have 9-1-2. As the first pitch will miss for ball one to Matt Jensen. Last guy to come to the plate from either side in this game. And he's got a 2-0 count working already. Jensen, 309 batting average, 3 doubles, does have one of those 6 home runs for Sioux Falls West, and he is one of those 4 guys that have driven in 30-plus, 32 RBIs for him, and hitting in the number 9 spot. That's a pretty good number 9 man. It's a double leadoff right there. If you're going to have that good of an average and that many RBIs, you're a double leadoff for Sioux Falls West. And here's a ground ball to the right side, fielded by the second baseman and Cody. His throw to first is going to retire Jensen for the first out here in the bottom of the third. And it will bring up Lawson Hensley, who singled the lead off the bottom of the first inning and then end up being thrown out, doubled off at third to end the first inning. And the first time that Griffin Schlapkohl has been able to retire the leadoff man. Lawson Hensley, first pitch. That'll miss inside for ball one. Voss has thrown 44 through 3 innings. Schlapkohl has thrown now 36. That one is upstairs. 2 strikeouts and no walks for Schlapkohl right now, which if he can get a quick inning, that'll really set him up to the second half of this ball game. 2-0 pitch. That is ripped out towards right center field. Diving and can't make the catch is the center fielder and Dirks. Rounding first on his way to second. It will be a double. Nearly a diving catch out in center by Dirks. It turns into a 1-out double for Lawson Hensley. I tell you how close he was. That one, maybe the replay a little bit too late on it. But I mean, it nearly found the glove. And so a runner on at second with 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning, and it will bring up Brody Jacobson. Jacobson ground out of the shortstop in his first trip to the plate. He'll take strike 1. Hensley now 2 for 2, 4 hits for Sioux Falls West. Another man in scoring position here for post 15. That'll bounce in, that hit the umpire, and it will be another wild pitch that'll put the runner over to third. Hensley had that read really well. I mean, there was 0 hesitation from him at second, and he ends up at third, 1-1 count. And Jacobson with a fly ball can give Sioux Falls West a 3-0 lead. He'll swing and miss to that curveball. Actually got a piece of it to foul it away, so the count's 1-2. One, two. This is popped up. That will be foul out of play on the right side. Lands on top of the press box.
To the ticket office for a crisp $1 bill, courtesy of Veterans Club.
1-2 again. I'll miss upstairs, and the count's 2-2 here to Brody Jacobson. Boston Bryant on deck. Team leader in RBIs. That'll be fouled away. Skips off the net right to the third base dugout. Home teams patrol that third base dugout. We'll see Brandon Valley and Yankton over there. Here's a slow roller. It will turn into basically a bunt single, and it's an RBI infield single for Brody Jacobson. Don't always have to hit it to the wall to get a base hit. Well, now we're going to have time be called. Did it go off of him? The three umpires will get together here to talk about it. They won't mark it down quite yet. And they will say that it is a infield single, and now we've got a mound visit coming as well here for Harrisburg. So it is a 3-0 lead now. And Sioux Falls West leads at 3-0 in the bottom of the third. And our first mound visit here for Harrisburg. Give us a chance. We'll pull up the state tournament brackets, as we've got Sioux Falls West and Harrisburg right now here at 10 a.m. The next game is going to be Brandon Valley and Brookings. That is the 4-5 matchup at 1 o'clock. And then Yankton Rapid City Post 320 at 4 o'clock. And then at 7 o'clock tonight, the final game, the top seed and the host, Post 22, takes on Watertown Post 17 to finish out the first day. Watertown's actually playing the last game of the day for the second straight year. Last year, they were the host team. Now they are the team that faced the host team in this first round of the 2026 state tournament. We'll update that bracket as we go along throughout this week, as it is going to be Boston Bryant with a runner on at first, and we'll see with how everybody has gotten a base hit. The three singles that Sioux Falls West has had, they've stolen second every time. They've not wasted to try and steal second. We'll see if they want to try and steal again here with Jacobson. They'll pick off over at first, and that might be a little bit of the conversation that was had out on the mound of got to keep the guy close over at first. We can't let the infield single basically turn into a double. The pitch, runner not going, and that one will miss outside for ball one. Bryant lined into that inning-ending double play at first that turned into the 3-5 double play. There's a chopper that is foul over on the first base side. He was accounted a ball and a strike here to Boston Bryant. And he's got the team lead at 37 RBIs in the season. Bryant did not drive in a run in that sweep of Huron, but he did go 3 for 7 with a double. West hit over 400 against Huron. This one will come inside and goes off the glove of the catcher and then hits the knee and the shin guard of the umpire. And the count is, I believe, 2-1. Runner didn't take off for second either. That was a odd-sounding pitch that came in. 2-1 is inside, and the count is now at 3-1. So a good hitter's count here for Boston Bryant to do some damage. Three-one pitch. That'll be ball four, and it's now first and second. That's just the first walk issued by Schlappcolt. brings up Tucker DeHaan, who led off the second with a base hit. Hard to kind of see the right field bullpen from where we sit at to tell you if there's any activity. And the biggest thing is that why you think about a little bit of activity in the bullpen is, again, you can't afford to just let a guy ride it out early in this first game. A 1-0 record compared to losing that first game does a lot different mentality, and I'm sure the numbers back it up that being 1-0 gives you a better chance, a better percentage of winning the state championship than being 0-1. That one is on the outside quarter, and the count's 1-1. And although a couple years ago, I'm not sure what year it was, but I think Post 22 lost their first game and then rattled off 5 straight wins to win the state title. Might have even been here at the Fitz. 1-1 is skied up to right field. Racer will come in. He'll get underneath it. The runner will tag for third. The throw coming to third is going to be too late, and both runners will tag up. And it's now second and third with 2 away. And it puts both guys in scoring position here for Bennett Duncan, who struck out looking in his first trip up. So DeHaan goes 1 for 2 now.
Third baseman, number 3,
And Bennett Duncan, the runners at second and third. That one will just miss for ball 1. Has a chance to extend this to a 5-0 lead here in this third inning. The 1-0. That'll be upstairs, and the count's now 2-0. And Duncan also, again, one of those 4 guys that has 30-plus RBIs. He hit nearly 400 during the regular season. That'll catch the inside edge, and the count's 2-1. Be pitch number 57 here from Schlappkohl. That'll miss low, and the count is now at 3-1. 3 runs on 5 hits right now for Sioux Falls West. They've been able to draw 1 walk. That's Boston Bryan, who stands at second. Ground ball right back to the mound, and it will be fielded by Schlappkohl, who underhand flipped to get out of the inning and keep the damage at a minimum. 1 run will score here in the bottom of the third inning on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the fourth. It is a 3-0 lead for Sioux Falls West over Harrisburg in the first game of the state tournament here on Hardhats TV. So here in the top of the fourth, it is for Harrisburg going to be 2, 3, and 4. Jackson Raisler, Bryson Esser, and Nick Riley. Still looking for that first hit against Caden Voss. Sioux Falls West has scored 3 runs on 5 hits so far and through 3 innings. Raisler popped out trying to bunt to move the runner over to second. First pitch is at the knees for strike 1. A leadoff walk in the first and third innings for Harrisburg, a fielder's choice, also got a runner on base. That's been the only 3 base runners. Well, they've only stranded 1 so far. As the count's 1-1. Strike him out, throw him out of Dirks and Rutten to get out of that 3rd inning for West. 1-1. Winner of this game will wait until 4 o'clock tomorrow to play. The loser will play at 10 a.m. again with their season on the line. The count's now 2-2. While playing this first game, there's a lot of extra nerves and everything kind of, it's still the state tournament, but you don't feel like you're necessarily in there as they will appeal over, and he did not swing down the first base line, says Don Johnson. And the count's now 3-2. But the nerves and everything else that go into that first game, but a win in this first game puts you in a pretty big advantage because you get the rest of the day to kind of hang out, see how the rest of the day goes, and then you get a chance to wait at the beginning of tomorrow as Racer will look at strike 3, frozen for the now 4th strikeout of the ball game for Caden Voss. Make that the 5th strikeout of the ball game for Voss, and it brings up Bryson Esser, who struck out swinging his first at bat. Because the other team that you face, they're not playing. Yankton and 320, they don't play until 4 o'clock this afternoon, and then you come back and play at 4 o'clock tomorrow. So, yeah, they'll get the 24 hours, but, I mean, you get an extra 6 hours, or technically from first pitch times an extra 6 hours than what they do. That one will hit Esser. And so there's a runner on now with 1 away, and it brings up Nick Riley. The 3rd free pass given by Caden Voss. Riley flew out to right. He's 0 for 1.
The third baseman, number 2.
As you're watching Hardhats TV, we're going to try our best to maybe see if we can get the camera. We're not sure if it's a little bit of some wind, or we also think it might be the heat from the turf coming up that's giving you the bounce that it has. As this one is popped up on the right side, and it is the first baseman Whitlock that will call for it. There's now 2 down, and it brings up Riley and Cody. So we'll look at that as we get into that before the second game starts. Again, some of it is the wind. Some could be that the turf is a little bit hot, and it kind of bounces everything around, looking like it's bouncing everything around. Riley and Cody, who was 0 for 0 with a strikeout. First pitch is fouled away for strike 1. That one got Jackson done. That didn't feel too good. And he will take his time. Home plate umpire and Chris Jackson will walk a new baseball out to Caden Voss. And then Coach Evers will make his way out in a bottle of water. Give Jackson Dunn a few more moments. Can we mention with the other games that are coming up, it is going to be Brandon Valley Brookings. That's a 1 o'clock time starts. 4 o'clock for Yankton and Rapid City Post 3:20, and then Watertown and Rapid City Post 22 at 7 o'clock here tonight. And yes, for someone like me who lives in the Central Time Zone, and it is all Mountain Time that we're talking about, so make sure you make that adjustment if you're watching from Pier or farther east outside of Post 320 and 22 fans, which I would expect most of those fans will be here tonight to watch both of those teams. So those that are watching out on the eastern side of the state, being able to understand it's all Mountain Times we're talking about. Count is 0-1 after the pickoff attempt over at first. Voss from the stretch. Runner takes off, the throw to go to second, and the tag, he is out at second. Looked at first maybe that he didn't get the tag applied, but is able to still get that tag from Jensen, the second baseman. He stuck the glove out again, and it is the third out, the second time that Harrisburg has been thrown out trying to steal. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the fourth. It is still a 3-0 lead for West over Harrisburg in the first game of the 2026 state tournament. As we get to the bottom of the fourth, it will be 6, 7, and 8 for Sioux Falls West. Jackson Dunn, Beckett Whitlock, and Jack Hilly. Matt Nell Jensen will come to the plate if anybody reaches base. As Griffin Schlappkohl will continue to work on the mound for Harrisburg. 2 runs in the second and a run in the third. Still no hits for Harrisburg through 4 innings. As Caden Voss has been hard to figure out for post 45 hitters to this point. And then on top of it, Jackson Dunn has thrown out 2 runners trying to steal second. So Harrisburg's only left 1 guy on base through the first 4. 2-0 is over for a strike, and the count's 2-1 to Jackson Dunn, the catcher, who took a foul ball, had to take a minute, and then threw a runner out at second. Now he comes right to the plate, and he'll swing at that one and fly it out to right field. Backing up his racer, he'll get underneath it and retire Dunn for the first out here in the bottom of the fourth. And it brings up Beckett Whitlock, who struck out swinging his first at-bat. That the big thing for Whitlock after Dunn had an RBI single in his first at-bat to make it 1-0. Whitlock, while he struck out, it ended up being a pitch in the turf that the throw had to go to first. So the Grebo that was running for Dunn was able to go from second to third and then scored on a wild pitch to start that next at-bat for Jack Hilly. And that was the reason why Sioux Falls West got 2 runs in that second inning. That one was fouled away, and it's quick 0-2 count here to Whitlock. A foul ball will make its way into fair territory down the right field line after it bounced around. Here's the 0-2. That one is fouled off of Whitlock. And it'll stay an 0-2 count. 3 runs on 5 hits for West. No runs, no hits, no errors for Harrisburg. The 0-2. That one will miss outside. One, 2 is grounded over, right side, diving, stop by the first baseman, the flip and the out. And a great diving play from Madden Wendling to get the second out of the inning. And a great job by the pitcher covering over for Schlappkohl. A nice diving stop over at first. Lost the hat, but made the play. And Jack Hilly now to the plate. And so Hilly with 2 outs, that first pitch will come in and hit him, and then it goes off the umpire as well. And Hilly will take first. First hit by pitch from Schlappkohl, and puts a 2-out base runner on. And Matt Nell Jensen to the plate. I'm not sure if we're getting some activity out in the bullpen or not.
Hit by pitch brings up second baseman number 1, Montnell Jensen.
Well, only one guy walking out there right now, so probably not a. There's a pickoff attempt, and back in safely over at first is Hilly. Here's the first pitch. That'll miss inside for ball 1. Jensen 0 for 1, ground out to his counterpart at second and Cody. That pitch will miss, and the count goes to now 2-0. Number 9 man in the batting order here for Sioux Falls West here in the bottom of the third, make that the bottom of the fourth with 2 outs. – 3-0 count to Jensen. And you got to think he's taken all the way. Lawson Hensley, the leadoff man on deck, who is 2 for 2 with a single and a double. Takes it all the way at the top of the zone. It counts 3-1. Still good hitters count here for Jensen. Slapcole trying to work around the 2-out hit by pitch, along with the excellent play at first by Madden Wendling to get that second out. There's a line shot back up the middle for a base hit. Rounding second and stopping there is going to be Hilly, and it's first and second with 2 away. 6th hit of the ball game now for Sioux Falls West, and it will bring up the top of the order for Lawson Hensley.
The Sioux Falls West leadoff batter, number 14, center fielder Lawson.
Hensley is 2 for 2, singled in the first, was doubled off in that first inning at third, and then he doubled and scored in the third. Brody Jacobson was able to get the RBI single. And now a conversation here for Griffin Schlapcole and Dalton Wendling. Big spot here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Sioux Falls West is trying to extend their 3-0 lead. Well, Harrisburg, they've got to find something to go their way here in this defensive side of the fourth and then try to get some offense rolling in the fifth. First pitch will bounce in for ball 1 in front of Wendling, so Hilly stays put at second. Don't want to make that third out at third. Of course, with the way Hensley has hit the ball in the first 2 at-bats, you want to give him every opportunity to drive you in. 1-0 pitch will miss low. So a 2-0 count now to Hensley. That one will also skip in, so it's a 3-0 count to Hensley. Brody Jacobson, who has an RBI single, he's on deck. And after the first 2 went down in order, a hit by pitch, a single, and now a 3-0 count can load the bases all with 2 outs. Does Hensley have the green light? He does not. Whether he did or didn't, he takes it for ball 4. On base for the 3rd time, and the bases are now loaded. First time we've seen the bases juiced. Now we'll have time called again. Brody Jacobson 1 for 2 with an RBI. That was his 31st RBI, which is 3rd on the team. And if he's able to get a base hit here, he can probably get to 2nd on the team. Jensen right in front of him at 32 RBIs. But he stands at 2nd. And with 2 outs, he's off with contact anyway, so base hit should score 2 for West. And a smart mound visit right now. Because this mound visit is extremely, or this at-bat is extremely important in this game. And now that Harrisburg can't come back from a 4 or 5-0 deficit, But the momentum that can be taken from getting out of this jam, or what could be for Sioux Falls West if you don't get out of the jam, could start to become insurmountable. First pitch will miss for ball one. Five straight misses right now for Griffin Schlappkohl. Make it 6 straight misses. And if you're Brody Jacobson, you probably are taking until you see a strike right now. Schlappkohl having trouble finding the strike zone. 2-0, there it is, the strike. This is the number 2 man in the order. West is pretty deep from top to bottom, but 2 and 3 and 4 are really tough to get out. And now it's a 3-1 count. Schlappkohl works from the windup, the 3-1 pitch. It is upstairs for ball 4, and it will walk in a run. The third walk of the inning, make that the third free pass of the inning, gives Jacobson his second RBI. And it's now a 4-0 lead for West. It is Boston Bryant, the team leader in RBIs, who is 0 for 1 with a walk, with a chance to really do damage in this inning. First pitch will find the strike zone for strike one. The 0-1 pitch. That was a chopper. That one will be just foul. That one might have skipped foul at the last moment. We'll watch that one go up the line. It's hard to really tell from that angle. Where the first baseman in Wendling had fielded it, you kind of expect that it probably was a foul ball, though he would have loved for that to be fair because he was right on the bag to get out of the inning. So now the 0-2 to Bryant. Swing and a fly ball to right field, backing up a couple of steps to the right fielder Raisler, who will make the catch, and that will take care of the 4th inning. So they avoid the big inning, does Harrisburg, but West does score a run with just 1 hit. No errors and 3 men left on base. We are halfway through game 1 of the state tournament and a 4-0 lead for Sioux Falls West over Harrisburg here at the Fitz in Rapid City on Hardhats TV.
Number 13, Rylan Cody.
So Rylan Cody lead off here in the top of the 5th inning. 5, 6, and 7. Rylan Cody, White Witwicky, and Dalton Wendling. First pitch swing, ground ball to the shortstop. Jacobson will field 1 pitch and 1 out here in the top of the 5th. And Caden Voss is trying to carve up this Harrisburg lineup and trying to continue to carve up this lineup.
Number 11, shortstop, Wyatt Witwicky.
Wyatt Witwicky struck out swinging. Back at the top of the 2nd. That'll be at the bottom of the zone, and Voss has been able to work everywhere around this strike zone. He's just made life difficult for this Harrisburg Gold team. That'll miss, and the count's 2-0. 58 pitches now for Voss. 85 for Schlapkohl, so he is only 20 pitches remaining before he'd have to be removed from the game. That one's over for a strike, and the count's now 1-2. And he is unable to come back the rest of this state tournament. So then if you're Harrisburg, do you let him go all 105 pitches? Taken for strike 3. Witwicky will go down looking. There's now 2 down, and that is strikeout number 6 for Caden Voss. And it brings up Dalton Wendling.
Now batting number 3.
Because really, when you look at what Schlapkohl has been able to do, he's not pitching bad by any means. 4 runs on 6 hits. He's only, this last inning, while he only gave up 1 run, was probably his worst inning throwing balls and strikes because he had 2 walks and a hit by pitch. But he's thrown the ball well, and so if you give him the 20 pitches, then it can save maybe an arm for tomorrow. And again, you're not necessarily saying that you're not going to win this game, but he's thrown well enough to keep Harrisburg in this game. That the strategy might be, hey, if we can get the 20 pitches, that could save a guy to maybe come back later on in this state tournament. That's all going through the minds of the manager and of all 8 managers of how you're handling your pitching staff, because you have to play the long and short game all at once. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 2-2. Because you don't want to be greedy and say for Sioux Falls West, you take Caden Voss out at 79 pitches so he'd be able to return on Saturday if you get there. Here's a ground ball that'll be up the middle, back in, and nope, that'll be missed by Jensen. It'll be interesting how they score that. It's going to be a tough play up the middle, but Wendling is on, and they will give Harrisburg the hit, and it will be the first hit of the ball game for Harrisburg.
Now batting first baseman number 8.
I think if Jensen was going to his left and could not make the play, that might be potentially ruled an error, but up the middle, that's when he makes that play, and the throw to first is hard to assume that he's actually going to get the guy out. And so Dalton Wendling will have the first hit of the game for Harrisburg. And it's now Madden Wendling who drew a walk in his first trip up. That first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Looks like Landon Bachtel is running over at first, if I saw that right. Here's the 1-0. That's upstairs, and the count's now 2-0. At number 7, yeah, Bachtel is running over at first. 2-0 count here to Madden Wendling, number 8 man in the batting order. Count's now 3-0. Again, going back to how you handle Voss, and just not that Sioux Falls West is going to do one or the other, but how greedy do you get with a 4-0 lead and say, we might get him out at 79 pitches. He gives us 5, maybe and get into that 6th inning, and we close out. Maybe they have a guy that they want to go to in the 6th and 7th inning, and so you just find your way in that spot and kind of almost say you're lucky at that point that you get Voss out, then he'd be able to return. But also at the same time, you say, well, we can't get to Saturday until we start winning games, and we got to make sure we win games. And Voss is throwing well enough, we're going to keep him in the ball game until he gets to 105 pitches or he gets to the end of the game. But that will be a walk issued to Madden Wendling, second time that he has been walked. And we'll see the first base runner get to second for Harrisburg. And we'll draw a mound visit out. And so now the first time that Harrisburg has got an opportunity to swing the bat with a runner in scoring position in this game. They do have an activity on the left field bullpen. And it could be that they're just wanting to go to that guy regardless of Voss's pitch counts. Or maybe they even see Voss's pitch count. But all it is just how do you play the long and short game, and the strategy that every coach might have a different thought of. Again, because the word greedy is what I'm using right now, because you say, well, he's available to pitch on Saturday. Well, that means you're one of potentially 3 teams, if not you're one of 2 teams to be playing on Saturday. And so that's a lot of confidence. I mean, while everybody has confidence that they can make the state championship, you're not overconfident. And then you find yourselves beat, and then you're saying, well, boy, should we have used that pitcher longer? Should we have taken him out sooner? All those things that the game of baseball that you love and second guess all the time. The 1-0 pitch, there's a swing and a miss, and it's now 1-1. And it's the small decisions that are magnified in this game compared to a lot of other sports. If you call the wrong play in basketball, you probably got another 3 or 4. Maybe that last second play is the one that's looked at differently. And a swing and a miss, and the count's 1-2. Football, the same thing. Yeah, you maybe say, well, you should have went to that receiver, or you should have went to that, hand the ball off at that time, whatever that might be. There's a lot of second guessing there too. Hockey, you're probably looking at a couple of shots that maybe go off a post that you could have had a break going. But the game of baseball is, should you have taken your pitcher out at that time or left him in? And the count's now 2-2. Should you have bunted instead of been swinging away? Should you have swung away instead of bunted? All those decisions that happen in every single at-bat just get magnified in the state tournament. They work. There's no second guessing. If it doesn't work, you start saying, should we have done the other thing? There's a swing and a miss by Noah Rutten, and he is down swinging for the 3rd out. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th, a 4-0 lead for Sioux Falls West over Harrisburg here in the first game of the state tournament here in Rapid City on Hardhats TV. It is going into the bottom of the 5th, and it is now Grady Woolbrink on the mound as Griffin Schlapkohl goes 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts on 85 pitches. So his state tournament on the mound will be done. Woolbrink will come in and relieve. And it is going to be Woolbrink will give you his numbers here as he will go against 4, 5, and 6. Tucker DeHaan, Bennett Duncan, and then Jackson Dunn as the first pitch will miss for ball 1. Woolbrink. And here we'll get you his stats. As the count is now at 2-0. He has started 5 games. He's only made 1 relief appearance, so this is only his 2nd relief appearance of the season, and it's a 3-0 count right now. 2-2 record, 25 hits, 21 runs. 15 of those earned, 17 walks, and 27 strikeouts. A 4.2 ERA, a 1.68 whip, and a 260 batting average against for Grady Woolbrink. That one will find the zone. The count's now 3-1 here to Tucker DeHaan, who is 1 for 2 in the ball game. That one will make it 3-2. Hahn thought maybe he had gotten the walk. Wilbrink actually his only relief appearance, as this is fouled away, came in the playoffs in that 10-1 loss to Renner. He threw 3 1/3 innings in relief of Andrew Dirks. 2 hits without a run, 2 walks, and a strikeout. So while he's kind of unfamiliar to be a relief guy, but his relief appearances have been in the playoffs, and he will get a strikeout of DeHaan for the first down here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and a 4-0 lead for Sioux Falls West over Harrisburg. Bennett Duncan, who is 0 for 2, he struck out looking in the 2nd and grounded out to the pitcher to end the 3rd. He's 0 for 2. The first pitch will miss for ball 1. One-0 is grounded at left side. That is through the hole for a base hit. Bennett Duncan now 1 for 3. And the 7th hit of the ball game for Sioux Falls West. And they have a runner on at first with 1 away. And brings up Jackson Dunn, who is 1 for 2.
The catcher, number 10, Jackson Dunn.
First pitch is a ground ball on the left side again. Shortstop Witwicky will field. His throw to first is not going to be in time. It was dropped by the first baseman as well, stretching out for Madden Wendling, but it's an infield hit for Jackson Dunn. He's now 2 for 3. And it puts it first and second here with 1 away.
Your attention, please. The courtesy runner at first, number 15, Noah Graybo.
Graybo is running again here for Dunn.
And now batting first baseman, number 7, Bennett Whitlock.
First and second here with 1 down. Here's a sharp liner. That is through for a base hit all the way to the wall. 1 run will come in to score. Graybo on his way to 3rd. They will hold him up there. It's an RBI double for Beckett Whitlock. And it's a 5-0 lead for West here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 3rd straight hit, 2nd double of the game now for Sioux Falls West. And that was right down the line. Now they're going to have a conversation again here with the umpire coming together. Not sure what the conversation was about, but it is still a double. And it's 2nd and 3rd, a 5-0 lead. And it brings up Jack Hilly. Hilly was hit by a pitch his last trip up. That's a sharp ground ball. That's off the glove of the 3rd baseman. Picked up by Witwicky, but no play to make. And it's another run that will score another base hit. It's now 1st and 2nd and a 6-0 lead. An RBI for Jack Hilly. And Matt Jensen, the number 9 man of the order, now to the plate. 4 straight hits here for Sioux Falls West.
Second baseman, number 1, Matt Jensen.
Jensen is 1 for 2, singled back in the bottom of the 4th. He had 7 guys come to the plate in that 4th inning, but only scored that 1 run. As the first pitch will miss for ball 1. The runners at 1st and 2nd. Ground ball through the hole on the left side for a base hit. The bases are now going to be loaded, and it's to the top of the order for West. After the strikeout to lead off the inning of Tucker DeHaan, 5 straight hits, 4 singles. And Lawson Hensley, Brody Jacobson, and Boston Bryant have a chance to put the game on the brink of ending here in this bottom of the 5th inning. Dalton Wendling talking to his pitcher in Wolbrink right now. Kind of slow things down. And maybe also, if there's activity out in the right field bullpen, trying to keep things a little bit more time to allow somebody to warm up out in right field for Harrisburg. But the bases are loaded. There is one down here in the bottom of the fifth, and Lawson Hensley, who is 2 for 2 with a single and a double and also a walk. Infield will come in all the way around. Throw back from Dalton Wendling, bounced into Wolbrink. It is 6-0 right now here for West. That one will miss, and the count is now at 2-0. That'll miss low and away. And a 3-0 count. The bases loaded and one away. That'll find the strike zone to make it now 3-1. Whitlock's at third, Hilly at second, Jensen over at first. The 3-1. That'll miss for ball 4, and that will make it a 7-0 ball game. And so an RBI single, or make that RBI walk for Hensley. And all of a sudden, the winning run has reached base now for West. And another time called and a mound visit. And the wheels are starting to fall off right now for Harrisburg. Brody Jacobson, who's got an RBI single and an RBI walk. He's got a chance, again, to just put this game on the brink of ending here in this 5th inning. West scored 1 run with the bases loaded in that 4th inning. The bases loaded with 2 outs. And only had 1 run score on the RBI walk for Jacobson, but they couldn't add on to it. And now here with the bases loaded and 1 out, they've had 6 straight reach after the strikeout to start the outing for Wolbrink. Gave up 5 straight hits and then a walk. Fouled back by Jacobson for strike 1. West, the 2 seed, at 33-12-1 on the season. They went 18-7 in South Dakota games. They're on the brink of winning this ball game with that winning run over at first base right now. And again, Harrisburg's got to find a way to get out of this inning without allowing Jensen to come around to score. One is upstairs, and the count's 2-1, and they have the opportunity to do it in front of them with 2 and 3 in the batting order right now. Two-one pitch. This is popped up left side over Esser in left field. Will they let the runner tag and try and score? They will bluff the tag, and the throw will come up. And it will keep the bases loaded now with 2 away, and it's to Boston Bryant. 9th man to come to the plate in this inning. Bryant is 0 for 2 so far. He drew a walk in the 3rd.
The designated hitter number 20, Boston Bryant.
37 runs driven in during the regular season or during the year. Here's the first pitch to him. That is outside for ball 1. Hilly on at third, Jensen at second, Hensley at first. 1-0 is grounded foul over to the first base dugout. Harrisburg will have the top of the order due up in the top of the 6th inning. They're going to make sure that that runner at first and Hensley does not come around to score so they can get to that point. That was a fly ball to right field. Backing up is Racer. He'll make the catch, and that will take care of the inning. So 3 runs do score as all 9 guys come to the plate. They do so getting 5 straight hits, no errors, and 3 men left on base. We head to the 6th inning. It is a 7-0 lead for Sioux Falls West over Harrisburg in the first game of the state tournament here at the Fitz on Hardhats TV. It is the top of the 6th inning and a 7-0 lead for Sioux Falls West over Harrisburg, as it is going to be a top of the order. Andrew Dirks, Jackson Racer, and Bryson Esser. Caden Voss stays out on the mound as he has been able to throw 75 pitches, 30 still to work with for Voss. The first pitch is over for strike 1. I want to take that back. It is not Voss on the mound anymore, as that one will miss to make it 1-1. Dirks, that one will hit the zone. It is Kyler Boyd that is on the mound now. So Kyler Boyd in relief of Caden Voss, who saves an opportunity to come back later on in the state tournament. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That'll be upstairs, and the count's now full at 3-2 here to Andrew Dirks, the leadoff man in the batting order and also leadoff man here in the 6th. 5 innings, 1 hit baseball for Caden Voss, 3 walks and 7 strikeouts, 75 pitches, so his opportunity could return on Saturday if Sioux Falls West makes it to Saturday. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3, and 1 down here in this 6th inning, and it brings up Jackson Racer, who's 0 for 2. So Kyler Boyd, he had thrown 50 innings coming in. This will be his 3rd relief appearance. It does have a save and a 7-2 record for Boyd. There's a swing and miss for strike 1. And maybe the last inning was a reason why they decided to go to Boyd instead of sticking with Voss with that 3 runs that scored. Boyd did throw against Huron. He threw 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 unearned run on 8 strikeouts in that 6-1 win to advance to the state tournament. That one's flown out of play on the right side, and we'll do it again here at 0-2. Noah McFarland was the only other guy to pitch for Sioux Falls West in those two games against Huron in that best-of-3 series. 0-2 is fouled away at the plate. Raisler stays alive. 0-2 here to the number 2 man in the batting order. One out, nobody on here in the top of the 6th. 7-0 lead for West over Harrisburg. And our first game today, first of 4 here at the Fitz. That'll miss upstairs, and the count's 1-2. West is trying to beat Harrisburg for the 4th time this year. All the way back on June 1st, then June 17th, and they won July 8th. 6-1, 17-6, and 5-0. Here's a ground ball right to the first baseman, fielded by Whitlock, who will step on the bag, take care of himself. There's 2 down. Here in the 6th inning, and it brings up Bryson Esser. Brookings and Brandon Valley, that's our next game at 1 o'clock. There are 3 hours between first pitch times of 10, 1, 4, and 7. Which, the game of baseball, you never know, but it should be enough time to allow every game to start on time and give enough time for these teams to get ready to go for their game. That one's at the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Here to Esser, who was hit by a pitch and then thrown out trying to steal. Dunn has thrown out 2 guys trying to steal so far. This will be fouled out of play the left side, and the count's 0-2. And Kyler Boyd looking to work out of this 6th inning quickly. In West could score 3 runs in the 6th inning and save a little pitching. Win by the 10-run rule. Oh-2. Taken for strike 3, and it is a 1-2-3 inning here in the 6th for Kyler Boyd. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 7-0 lead for West over Harrisburg here in the first game of the state tournament here at the Fitz on Hardhats TV. As we get ready for the bottom of the 6th, that is a look at your brackets. And again, Brookings and Brandon Valley. Now, the winner of this game will face the winner of Yankton and Post 320. They stagger the sides of the bracket that play on day 1. Then they'll play the loser's bracket first on Wednesday with the winner's bracket to follow. And then it goes, follows that in order on Thursday. But it is, game 1 and 3. When you look at the bracket, that will be 1 and 2. As Tucker DeHaan will take ball 1. So then Brookings and Brandon Valley, the winner of that game, faces the winner of the last game of the night, which will be Post 22 in Watertown. Counts 2-0 here to Tucker DeHaan, who led off the 6th inning with the 5th inning with a strikeout before 5 straight hits. And then a bases loaded walk that made that a 7-0 game. 6 straight guys reach base. Here's a line shot, and that is foul. And so the count goes to 2-1. I mentioned it too. Brookings and Brandon Valley, the only matchup of the first day where the team splits their games against, or at least both teams have a win. Obviously, Sioux Falls West has won 3 against Harrisburg. Yankton and Post 320, one of those teams couldn't have beat the other one because they only played once. Yankton won that one 7-1. There's a walk issued to Tucker DeHaan. leading off this bottom of the 6th inning. And it brings up now Bennett Duncan to the plate. And then post 22 and Watertown. It was Rapid City post 22 that swept Watertown 12-2 and 4-3. So the top seeds have won all the matchups except for Brookings and Brandon Valley. And also when you look at it, that's the 4 and 5 matchup. So that should be the best game of the day by seeds. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop. Witwicky will bobble on the transfer from the glove to the hand, and it allows the runners to all be safe in the first error that we see in this ball game. And so it's first and second now with nobody out, and it brings up Jackson Dunn, who is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Seen everything played cleanly to this point. A couple of wild pitches in there, but no real fielding errors. There weren't any fielding errors or throwing errors until that play from Witwicky. First pitch is over for strike 1 to Jackson Dunn. Right-hander Wolbrink makes it a 1-1 count here to Dunn. Again, the winner plays at 4 o'clock tomorrow. The loser will come back and play here at 10 a.m. in the first elimination game of the state tournament. That one's at the knees for a strike. A win guarantees you another day, for sure 2 more days here in this first day. Being the double elimination format. Wolbrink will step off. If you go 3-0, you are one of the state championship teams. And now we'll have a conversation between Dalton Wendling and Wolbrink. You will play again on Friday, but if you lose that game on Friday, you are still a state championship team, as you'll go to the if necessary, game 14. And that would be the winner-take-all game, which would then put Saturday having 2 guaranteed games. But you are able to eliminate a team and then force that team that ends up in the state championship with you to beat you twice on one day to win the state title. 0-2 pitch is fouled back. I think that the 1-2 pitch fouled back. That Thursday night game between the 2-0 teams, there'll be a lot of intensity. There's going to be a lot of intensity throughout this entire tournament, but that one will have a lot at stake. 1-2 is popped up. That will get out of play. And the count remains at 1-2. Good battle here for Jackson Dunn and Grady Wolbrink. Wolbrink wants the signs to go through again. 1-2. That one's grounded back to the mound, off the glove of Wolbrink, and then off the glove of the second baseman and Cody. We'll see how they want to score that one, too. They will call it a base hit for Jackson Dunn, his 3rd hit, second infield single. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. And again, that winning run now moves over to first again, as Graybo will run. And Beckett Whitlock to the plate here with the bases loaded and nobody out. A walk, an error, and a infield single. Low to the bases, a 3rd straight inning now for Sioux Falls West. They strand the bases loaded in the 4th and 5th after they scored a combined 4 runs between those 2 innings. That one is fouled out of play. Whitlock had an RBI double in that 5th inning, the 2nd extra base hit. 2 doubles so far for Sioux Falls West. Only 1 hit for Harrisburg. There's a line shot that is caught, and everybody, what great base running by Sioux Falls West. all freezing on that line drive and heading back to each base, so only the catch can be made by Cody for the first down and no chance to double anybody off. And now it's Jack Hilly, who had an RBI single. He is 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch as well. We got time called, and Wolbrink will have to tuck his jersey back in. In the 7th inning, going to be 4, 5, and 6 for Harrisburg. They've got to make sure that they get these next 2 guys and not allow all 3 of these base runners to come in and score. Well, the work cut out for them in that 7th inning, trying to come back from at least a 7-run deficit. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. This is the defending state champion Harrisburg team. Won in Watertown last year. There's a fly ball towards center field, moving over to his left to make the catch is Dirks. 2 runners will tag. It will be an RBI sac fly. And an 8-0 lead for West with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And so now 2 down for Matt Nell Jensen. Second RBI for Hilly now in the ball game. He's 2 for 3. They pick off the guy at first, and that will end the inning. Graybo is going to be thrown out, and that will take care of this bottom of the 6th. So pick off and makes it a 1-run scored on a 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We head to the 7th, an 8-0 lead for West over Harrisburg, 3 outs away from a Game 1 win here in the 2026 state tournament in Rapid City on Hardhats TV. It is the top of the 7th and a 8-0 lead as Kyler Boyd will try to get the final 3 outs to get Sioux Falls West into tomorrow evening's game at 4 o'clock against the winner of Yankton and Post 320. And it is 4, 5, and 6. Nick Riley will come to the plates, followed by Rylan Cody and Wyatt Witwicky. West has dominated to this point with an 8-0 lead, just 1 hit so far for Harrisburg. But the beautiful thing of baseball, the game's not over till all 21 outs have been recorded, and Harrisburg still has an opportunity. There's a swing and a miss. Riley 0 for 2, flew out to right, popped out to first. Time will be called at the plate. And again, just about an hour from now, hour and 9 minutes as it stands right now, Brookings and Brandon Valley will get started. The 1-1. And will bounce in, and the count's 2-1. 4 games today, 4 tomorrow. Then we go down to 3 Thursday, 2 on Friday. And as it would stand right now, as this one will be floating to center field coming in, and that'll be scooped up by the center fielder on a hop from Hensley, and it'll be a leadoff single for Nick Riley. And the second hit now of the ball game for Harrisburg. And there is a runner on at first for Rylan Cody, who is 0 for 2. Only one guaranteed game on Saturday. But depending on how Friday night goes, you could see a second guaranteed game before we even get into Saturday. That one's over for strike one. If you're a fan of baseball, probably what you want to see is three teams still alive on Saturday and play for that state championship in a winner-take-all game. If you are a fan of the team that's 3-0, you probably don't really necessarily want to see that. It counts 0-2. Kyler Boyd looking for his third strikeout. That one's foul out of play to the right side. Wyatt Woodwicki, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He is on deck, then followed by Dalton Wendling, who has the other hit for Harrisburg. No runs, 2 hits, and an error for post 45. Sioux Falls West has 8 runs on 12 hits with no errors. Oh-2 is outside. A 1-2. That'll miss upstairs and makes it a 2-2 count. West is 3 outs away from going 4-0 against Harrisburg this year. Picking up their 34th win of the entire season. Put them 22 games over 500. 2-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. Third strikeout for Boyd. And one down here in the top of the 7th. And it brings up Wyatt Woodwicki.
Number 11, shortstop, Wyatt Woodwicki.
First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Boyd has thrown 26 pitches now. Not sure what Coach Evers is thinking on pitch count wise. He obviously, without a blow-up inning, and probably would be taken out before then, that he'll be available to pitch. If it's not tomorrow, he'd be available to pitch again on Thursday, which if you do finish out the win, you know you're guaranteed to play on Thursday. But if you're wanting him to stay available to pitch again tomorrow, then you have a decision to make here in the next couple of minutes or a couple of pitches. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's now a 1-2 count. Then you also can't have more than 3 appearances in those 3 days, or you can't have more than 2 appearances in 3 days. So if you would pitch again tomorrow, then you would have to still, no matter how many pitches he throws, he can't pitch again on Thursday. Counts 2-2. It is again a hard line to figure out as a coach on managing your staff on how many pitches guys throw. Voss is able to return on Saturday. If they make it there, they have to be at least one of 2 teams, if not the 3 teams. This will be a short pop-up, backing up Jensen. He'll make the catch in the shallow right field. And there's 2 down and West and out away from picking up a Game 1 win as Dalton Wendling, the catcher, will come to the plate. Wendling is 1 for 2.
Number 3, Dalton Wendling.
Has the other hit right now for Harrisburg. He picked that up in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch. That'll miss for ball 1. So here in Game 1 of this 2026 state tournament, 1-0 pitch is popped up. Will there be a play here for the catcher Dunn? And it will land 3 rows up out of play. And so the count goes to now 1-1. You can see if you're watching on YouTube, and of course you have to be watching on YouTube, but if you're catching where everybody's sitting at, they're making sure the shade is where most everybody wants to be. There's a couple of people sitting around those seats and bleachers that are not under the cover, but the shade is being used efficiently by everybody that's here to watch. As it counts now 1-2, and as the day progresses and there's a little bit more shade to be picked up, you'll see more people probably move down. 1 strike away here for West. Kyler Boyd set from the stretch. This is popped foul. And Pierre this weekend in the 14U state tournament, I did all the games at Heights Stadium that were there, and watching the Sunday championship game, everybody just slowly moved to the right to stay in the shade from behind home plate. Here's the 1-2. A miss outside, and the count's 2-2, which that Harrisburg team ended up winning the 14U state tournament. They crushed the ball in that throughout the entire weekend, but in that state championship game, everything went right for them offensively. 2-2. That will get to the backstop in the first wild pitch from Sioux Falls West, which puts the runner on at second. A 3-2 count here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Brookings and Brandon Valley coming up at 1 o'clock. Believe it's Brookings that's walking over to the cage. They're all wearing red, and both teams are red, so it's hard to tell actually who is who. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Dalton Wendling. That's a line shot, but that would be foul. That bounced off the fence and went right to the left fielder, Hilly, who didn't really move at all. Because as soon as that ball was hit, he knew it was foul and had to run in a couple of steps. That's how hard that ball bounced off the fence. So another full count pitch. 8-0 lead for West, trying to finish out the shutout of Harrisburg. A 3-2. Taken for strike 3, and that will end the ball game. A 2-hit combined shutout for Sioux Falls West over Harrisburg. As they win, it's 8-0. We'll come back here in just a minute to wrap up that total for you. It is an 8-0 win for West over Harrisburg. So it is a final score here in Game 1, as it is an 8-0 win for Sioux Falls West over Harrisburg. As you see on the box score, they scored in every inning except for the first. 2 runs in the second, a run the third, fourth, sixth inning, and that big 3-run fifth inning. As they got an RBI from Jackson Dunn that made it 1-0 in the second. And then an RBI single for Brody Jacobson in the third when they scored a run. Had an RBI walk from Jacobson in the fourth inning. Then RBI double from Beckett Whitlock. Jack Hilly with an RBI single and an RBI walk for Lawson Hensley. Then the RBI sac fly for Hilly. So Hilly and Jacobson both with 2 RBIs in that win as Caden Voss picks up the win. 5 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 75 pitches. So again, he's able to return and pitch again on Saturday if Sioux Falls West makes championship day. Kyler Boyd only throws 38 pitches, goes 2 innings, giving up just 1 hit with 4 strikeouts. Griffin Schlapko will take the loss, 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts, and 85 pitches. Grady Wolbrink had 2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout on 42 pitches. Time of the ball game was 1 hour and 58 minutes for our first game win. So we're now, it is 58 minutes until game time for Brandon Valley and Brookings, our second game of the day. We'll pull up the bracket for you to show you, and again, we'll update that as we get into the next game. But Sioux Falls West will move to the 4 o'clock game tomorrow evening. Harrisburg will go to the 10 o'clock game. That's just right above there, that second, what looks like the second game of the losers bracket, but the first game of tomorrow. They will play for their season on the line against the loser of Yankton and Rapid City Post 320, which will come up at 4 o'clock today. Brandon Valley and Brookings will play at 1 o'clock next. So that is, again, right around 57 minutes from now. We'll be on the air in about 40 minutes for that game as we get that game ready to go for this second game of our state tournament, as it is an 8-0 win for Sioux Falls West over Harrisburg, as we will be back at 12:50 for our second game between Brookings and Brandon Valley. 8-0 win. Sioux Falls West advances to tomorrow afternoon, back at 12:50 here this afternoon on Hardhats TV.